Good morning, 7th graders. We are moving on. So we covered lessons 1 through 4 already. Now we're looking at 5 and 6. So we looked at addition of integers. Now we are looking at subtraction. Oh, and lesson 6 is the distance between two rational numbers. So we're going to use a number line to find the answer, like we did before. So we have 8 minus 2. So like previous, we're going to start at 0. We go up to 8. We go back down 2. We end up with 6. Now this next one, sorry about that. I forgot to add the number line in initially. So now we're starting at 0. We're going to go to 4 and then count down 9. We end 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We end up with -5 is our answer. Okay? So find the differences. So notice that there is a subtraction sign, but then it's also a negative number. So what that actually does is it makes it a positive number. So we have -2 plus 5, which is 3. 11 minus a -8 is going to be 11 plus 8, which equals 19. Sorry if you can hear my dogs playing. And then we have -10 minus a -4. So -10 plus 4 equals -6. Okay, so what's the difference between 0 and 8? We have 0 here, we have 8 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. However, notice that it's positive. It's not a negative because we're looking at the difference. So how many units are between -8 and 0? Okay. And that's where when we talked about absolute value, that's kind of where that comes in. So absolute value of a number is always going to be positive. So when we talk about the difference between two numbers, it's going to be absolute value of the number. So there's a formula for this also. So we can find the distance between -3 and 2 in two ways. The first is to start on an endpoint with a number line, so -3 or 2, and then count the number of units from that endpoint to the other endpoint. So I don't have a number line drawn, but I'm going to use my fingers. So we'll say we start at -3. So we count -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. Okay, so the difference between those two numbers is going to be 5. Or we can use the formula. So it's going to be inserting those numbers. So we have -3 minus 2, which is equal to -3 plus a -2, which equals -5. But because it's an absolute value, it actually is 5. So that's what these brackets are. It's absolute value brackets, okay? But it doesn't really matter which order we put the numbers in. So we can say 2 minus a -3. 2 plus 3 equals 5, which also equals 5. Only because of the absolute value. That's the only reason the numbers don't matter. Okay? So find the distance between -7 and -4. We use the formula, P minus Q. So -7 minus a -4, or -7 plus 4 gives us -3. Absolute value of -3 is 3. Okay, so you're going to complete the Edmodo questions for lesson 5 and 6. If you have questions or want more examples, let me know. If you're confused, let me know. Like last week, we will review tomorrow. So last week, we will review lessons 3 through 6. Tomorrow, Thursday, we'll review lesson 3 through 6. Otherwise, have a great Wednesday.